What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV here today. So we have to talk about this post from Hermen Hulst. He is the head of PlayStation Studios at the current moment, and obviously he has the biggest case of not being able to read the room I've ever seen. Because after that awful showcase they just delivered, he says, "I couldn't be more thrilled and proud for what's coming from PlayStation Studios. Spider-Man 2, and that's it. Spider-Man 2." Notice how there's no other games after that but Spider-Man 2. You're the head of PlayStation Studios. Why is it that we only see one major PlayStation game at your so-called showcase? Once again, that showcase is supposed to be like an E3 level event, and people are pissed because we didn't see any PlayStation first-party games. I have a PS5. I have very little faith in that PS5 because right now, I don't have any games to play on that PS5 besides Final Fantasy 16, which is coming up, and Spider-Man 2. I want to know what other games I got to play on that thing, because right now, it is just a dedicated Blu-ray player. It is a damn good Blu-ray player, but I wanted to play games on it. And I am disappointed with that. So, I don't know what made this guy come out and say, hey, this stupid tweet, but he shouldn't have did it, because you need to be reading the room and saying, hey, people are not happy with that showcase. And sure, we got multi-plats, but what first-party games do we have on that PS5 that people spent $500 plus for on it for? So, and then he says, special shout-out to our new family members, Haven and Fireworks Studios. I don't care what games have these guys made for that PS5. I don't know, but I don't really care. For unveiling the games they got in store for you all. So you gotta find out later what games you gotta come out. Is what he's trying to say. So. Once again, that showcase was awful. The fact that he said this, it just shows that he is not paying attention. He's clearly out of touch or whatever. He has a lot of yes men apparently, because that showcase was not what people wanted to see right there. So then you have Phil Spencer congratulating this guy. Phil, you need to stop the nice guy BS at this point. Don't congratulate this guy. You need to be like the guy from Karate Kid and sweep the leg at this point. Hit them while they're down, because people are not liking that PlayStation showcase. You should have been like, hey, we got game. If you were disappointed with this showcase or you didn't like it, we got a lot of for you for the Xbox showcase. So some to that extent, like what is this kumbaya, this nice guy stuff? I'm not feeling that at all, but that's just feel for you, I guess. I don't know. Hermen, the show was not good. Hermen, I think PlayStation Studios can do better than what was presented and represented in the 2023 PlayStation Showcase. Yeah, multi-plats upon multi-plats, indie games, some foam game where you're shooting bubbles at each other. That was a very weird game, by the way. The whole time I was watching this, am I watching like PlayStation Showcase? Am I watching Sesame Street? I thought Elmo was gonna pop out and start singing the Elmo song or something. Like we watched the game where they were shooting bubbles at each other. Like what was that? What? And then they had a trailer for a movie. And the very last minute, they showed us what we wanted with Spider-Man 2, and that was the only PlayStation Studio game that was worth a damn at that showcase. So I don't know. We want single-player first-party games. What makes PlayStation special? Also, where was Stellar Blade? Where was that game? I wanted to see that game too. That game looked very interesting, but we didn't see any footage at that showcase. So it's like, what? They didn't show anything at the showcase besides multi-plats. I could play on my Xbox. A big whoop-de freaking do. I want to see what PlayStation has for the PlayStation showcase. Is that so much to ask for? I always try to focus on the positive at the end of a conference for each gaming companies, but here's the disappointment lives up to the expectations I have for this showcase. What's happening on PlayStation apart from Spider-Man, I'm now just worried about the future. Many fans are. They had such a dry year this year, which gaming media isn't talking about this dry-ass year PlayStation had this year. I don't care about VR. I don't think the vast majority of people don't care about VR. I don't care about that Horizon DLC. I tried to play the base game, Horizon Forbidden West. That game is very pretty. Don't get me wrong, but that game is really boring. That game has not hooked me whatsoever. And I tried multiple times to play that Horizon Forbidden West game. I cannot get hooked to that game. I am more hooked on Redfall than I am that Forbidden West game. Like, sure, only thing Horizon Forbidden West has is it's a pretty looking game, but other than that, that game is not hooking me whatsoever. So I don't care about that DLC. And other than that, it was like this year has been dry for PlayStation first party content. That's what I said. My PlayStation has been a Blu-ray player. I've been just watching movies on that PS5. I've not been playing any games at all on it. And I want to play games because I spent $500 on them, but they have not given me any type of compelling software to play games on it with. So, State of Play shenanigans. Excited for new PSP though. That was lit. Okay. Then you got a response says PSP. What are you talking about? It is a cheap screen lily slap between a DualSense. Nothing else. They might as well drop the controller unit as a product and let us choose what mobile device to pop it in there for their mediocre remote play application. Q is not a PSP over a Vita. Jeez. And I expect this guy to get checked that quickly. Like I thought that was gonna be it, but no. Somebody responded to that guy. Was not happy with that comment right there. Like, jeez. These PlayStation fans are upset. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is Hermen Hulst doing? Like, you don't see the outrage people have over this showcase, and you making this dumb statement. Like, people are not happy. They're not happy with that PlayStation Q thing they announced. They're not announced with the rip-off Apple headphones you announced. They are not happy with the showcase, Hermen. So what are you doing here? Like, what is this statement? And then you got Phil congratulating this guy. Like, don't congratulate this guy for this nonsense. Like, let's see. Worst showcase you have ever done. This is the comments they're getting from the fan base. The worst showcase I've ever seen. Swing and a miss. That was dreadful after being quiet for so long. Yes, because they haven't had a showcase in 2 years here, people. 2 years they haven't had a PlayStation showcase. We had these state of plays where they show like these third-party games. Really, sometimes be first-party games that go in depth for. Mainly nothing as big as an E3 type showcase. And it's like it was just so disappointing. There was no Sucker Punch games, no Naughty Dog games, no Bloodborne. All this stuff was not there at all. So it's like, what was even the point of that showcase? To show us multiplats? That doesn't make any sense. Who wants to watch a PlayStation showcase just to see multiplats? That doesn't make any sense to me. If that was any other company, that was Nintendo, and we saw all multiplats like FIFA, Madden, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, whatever, you name it, and one first party game, people would be pissed off. Same with Microsoft. So I don't know why they thought that was just acceptable to do. And then the fact that some people in the game media actually said it was a great showcase because you saw multiplats, like really, like, yeah, that makes me just lose faith in the game. Like I just view them as some clowns at this point. Like because who watched one of these big showcases just to see multiplats? No release date for Spider-Man, no Sucker Punch, no Naughty Dog, no Sony Santa Monica, no Bend, too many CGI trailers, and barely any first-party games. Where is the first-party PlayStation content? Hermen, we need to talk. And these are from Sony fanboys who always trash Xbox too, and I'm noticing. Like, these guys trash Xbox a lot, but even they're calling out Sony with their BS. So I'm like, Hermen Hulst, if lying was his job. Okay. So I just don't understand the audacity of this tweet right here to say, hey, we're proud of what we've shown here. You didn't show any PlayStation games, so what are you proud of exactly? That tweet just sounds so tone deaf at this point. Like, what PlayStation Studios games are you proud of? Are you proud of a PlayStation Studio game, singular? Like, it's definitely not plural there, because they didn't show anything else. Besides some foam bubble bath game. Man, this is a crazy position because they're selling a lot of consoles, but they're not bringing you anything though. This system is just so dry right now. Like we can say Redfall was trash or whatever, but at least Xbox is giving you stuff. Nintendo is giving you stuff. What does PlayStation give you besides some VR and a DLC? Nothing. They say they're mad, but everyone's still gonna buy everything PlayStation, which is sad but true. Like this is the same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo can bring out a new Pokemon game. That game can be buggy and glitchy, but because it has the Nintendo logo and something they grew up with, they're gonna buy it. I think that's how PlayStation is there right now. People are buying a PlayStation 5. They're not excited for any games really. They're gonna buy it for Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty, I mean any type of casual third-party game, and they're gonna brag about the sales, but no first-party games in sight. So that's kind of state we're in right now. And I blame these Sony fanboys for doing that. Like, I don't see, like, once again, I don't see any Sony fanboys even complain about this dry year they have right now, besides Spider-Man 2. One game shouldn't be enough to just should just solve everything with your dry year. So you're just happy about one game coming out this year? I don't understand that. I'm sorry, Hermen. You take the biggest L in your face, okay? I have the same question, Herman. What the F is coming from PlayStation Studios apart from Spider-Man 2, which we already know is coming since 2021? Everybody wants to know that question. Fans, everybody wants to know what else is coming out for PlayStation. And can we get some release dates at that? Like, what are they so secretive about? Like, jeez. Honestly, I'm overcome with so many negative feelings and disappointment with Hulst. This does demonstrate you seem to be stretching yourselves thin with too much and diluting focus. My response after waiting 1.5 years for this new showcase is a thumbs down. That's what he's trying to say. Okay. You're so lucky Final Fantasy 60 comes out in a month, or else you'll be finished. Once again, that's a third-party game from Square Enix, which they paid to make it exclusive because they knew it was gonna have a super dry year. So it is just crazy, and this is so-called market leader that people clamor about so much, and the people are just so angry and just roasting Hermen Hulst right now, which he said was such a great showcase. Lack of gameplay, like a first-party presence, this could have been condensed into a state of play. It really could have. They could have just said, hey, check out our state of play where we show 12 minutes of Spider-Man footage and also the VR games, and just leave it as that. You didn't have to show any of these third-party games here, and it just didn't make any sense. It's like, really, they could have just saved us some time, honestly. All the hurt in the comments, I told y'all, okay? If this is the future of PlayStation, it is bleak as hell. Soulless looking games as a service with forgettable visual identities that died before they even launched. If they want to do games as a service, lead into old IPs we recognize and have a fan base. Killzone, SOCOM, Twisted Metal Resistance, etc. Yikes. Yeah. Sony needs to fire your ass. They want this guy gone. I don't blame him, bro, because it's like, you don't have that terrible showcase and then make a tweet like this and we're thrilled and proud of what we've shown. It's like, yeah, you kind of need to get that boot at that point. I don't care how many consoles you guys are selling. You know, this is the response from that showcase and the backlash you're getting. Yeah, you kind of need to get the boot at that point. Please fire the secret agent who is trying to destroy PlayStation from the inside. People are saying he's trying to destroy the brand from the inside. The worst thing to happen to PlayStation since the PS3 price reveal. Herman, that showcase just wasn't it. You have no clue what the gamers want. I'm sorry, you all need to do better than this. Can the CMA FTC Europe block this showcase? I'm pretty sure they can. It's already out there in the open, and they just wasted millions of people's time with that hour-long showcase, which is very mid. Y'all had one job for 2 years and failed. Damn near fired on y'all day off. People are ruthless in this comment section. They are not holding back. I don't blame them because they did just waste millions of people's time with that hour-long showcase. So it could have just been like a 15-minute state of play at that point, honestly. Get this man out of here. This was not it, sir. Yeah. PlayStation proud to show dog crap. PlayStation guys should be embarrassed. Bruh, like, I don't understand how you can make this tweet. Like, you don't see all these disappointed people and you're making a tweet like this. And then Phil, you aren't even being discussed here, but why are you making this tweet to make it about you too? Because now you, like, I don't know. I just don't understand Phil Spencer. I don't understand that guy at all. This whole nice guy, kumbaya stuff. I was like, you see they released this showcase. You don't want any parts of this. Like, they're getting all this bad PR. Why are you trying to make, I don't know. I'm going to leave that alone, but definitely want to see your thoughts about this down below. Leave a like if you like this video. That's always thanks for watching, and peace.